Welcome back to Father with Three Jobs podcast again. This is Alex Ko, and today I've got a very, very special guest interview on the show. And she's a qualified doctor specializing in general practitioner. And Aileen has recently quit her job, her full-time doctor job, not joking. And now she's a full-time health coach helping people with weight management, education, the science of diet, running her own business, and she's got a full team. So it's not a side hustle no more. It's turned into a full-fledged business. So today we'll be venturing down Eileen's life-changing experience. I'm really curious myself to find out how her extraordinary journey has panned out. And not to waste any more time, I would like to bring Aileen Alexander to the show. Dr. Aileen Alexander, how are you doing?
Thank you so much, Alex. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much.
I suppose Aileen today bringing you onto the show is to help inspire, mom and dads, brother and sister on your journey, because many people don't share their journey, but I think your journey is pretty unique. Not many GPs, would want to quit their job, specialize. You're specialized in your field with the NHS, and to quit your job to do something different, but to do something you're also still helping people. So can you tell us about what's happened recently? Maybe you'd like to share with our listeners, please.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you so much. Yeah, so I am a doctor, a real doctor. I studied here in Aberdeen. I graduated in 2013, and then I did my additional training to be a GP.
Okay.
So yeah, it took me 10 years to specialise as a GP and get to the position I'm in.
Yeah.
And yesterday was my last full regular day in general practice.
Oh, it's just yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
how do you feel?
I feel excited, but it's almost as if I shouldn't share or tell people about how excited I am, because general practice is a great profession. I'm not turning my back in the profession, but I'm using my skills in a different way to help people in a different way.
Being a doctor, it's a very brave move.
Absolutely huge. So to put things into perspective, people from my family don't go to university. My brother went to uni, but nobody else had. So for me to go and do medicine was massive. For me stepping back and building TDL, it's not necessarily supported by the family background, but I think maybe 5-10 years down the line, when they see how happy I am, how more balanced my lifestyle is, and how I can give to people's health in a different way, then maybe they'll start to understand it a bit better.
Right. So we're still going through the transition phase for people accept. But then you yourself, you and your family, the most important support that you got making this transition?
I think I needed to know it was the right thing for me. So authentic me, I'm not very good at putting myself first. I'm a doctor. None of us are. None of us healthcare professionals are good at looking after ourselves or putting ourselves first. And that was the most important thing for me. I wanted to be my best self. So the best doctor, I wanted to be the best stepmom, I wanted to be the best fiance. And it was really difficult to do all of those things when I was working these crazy long days in general practice. And the other bit was, I was dealing with patients that would have medical problems. They'd come to me for a solution, but they were looking at the medical model. They wanted a pill to fix these problems, whereas really they need lifestyle changes. People need to do more exercise, they need to eat a bit better, lose weight, but they're not necessarily motivated, and the support isn't necessarily there to help educate them on the real science behind dieting, which is what we do at TDL.
Oh, okay. So you're moving away from GP, but you're not moving. You still want to help people, but in a different perspective, in your own way.
Yes.
That you see from your experience that you could help people change your mindset, mentality, the science, educate people. Very good. Not just the pill, because people look for the pill, do they?
They do. And in fact, I was doing a talk last night to the Royal College of GPs for GP trainees and newly qualified GPs, and it was all about nutrition and well-being, and it was helping them with their own personal nutrition and well-being and tips that they could give to patients, because in the NHS we're so focused on illness and managing illness that we forget about health and health optimization. How can we improve our own lives?
You were saying, what does TDL stands for? Can you just share with the audience what TDL stands for? You mentioned it just now.
So TDL stands for This Doctor Lifts.
And that's your business, yeah?
That is my business, yeah. So it started 3 years ago. It'll be 3 next month. It's been a hobby. It was a hobby to start with. And I remember talking to one of my friends who said, this is a real thing. And he said to me, did you hear what you just said? This is a real thing now. He was like, you need to go and follow your dreams. You're so passionate about this. But I didn't have enough time to give to TDL. And I was trying to juggle everything, trying to be everything to everybody. And you simply can't do that. You can do anything that you want in this world, but you can't do it all.
Yes, you cannot be everywhere at one time, but you want to,
Yeah.
because I can see that you're a fighter, you're very competitive, you want to get it done. And if you don't get it done at a standard, you at your level of standard, you're not going to be satisfied. I can see that, Which is good. That's good. Perfection.
My old supervisor used to say that I had exacting standards, which is tough when you're a GP, when you're working in general practice.
Oh, it's good. At least if I walk to a GP, if I see someone like you, I'll be safe,
And that's the flip side of it. So, you almost feel like you're turning your back on the NHS, or you're turning your back on patients. So it's been a huge journey for me, because I know I'm a great GP. I'm a really, really good GP. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is what I should be doing for the rest of my life, because I clearly have a gift at what I do in TDL.
Exactly. Or else you wouldn't be. And you're getting the support, like you were saying earlier on, you get support from your peers at work, at home, friends that saying, Aileen, do this now. I think you can do this. It's not just yourself. You're actually getting the push from behind as well, from everyone else, which is good. And you're saying that it started 3 years ago. So it was a side hustle, like hobby you mentioned. I call it side hustle.
Yeah.
And you did it on the side, trying to manage your time and everything else. And how can you give, can we go back to the 3 years that you were side hustling? Can you give any 3 tips on how people can juggle their time, especially being a GP?
So it's really, really tough. You've got to be prepared for not just the physical battle, but the mental battle.
Right.
So focus on your goals and remember why you started doing this. Think of the bigger picture. So the 5 or the 10-year plan. Okay. And we need to focus on one thing at a time, because ultimately we spread ourselves so thin, we take on lots and lots of things, but then we never really finish anything. And I mean, like in your business. So you're like, right, I'm going to do coaching, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, all these things. You've got to complete one thing at a time, set the systems up. But you need to be really organized. I am the most organized person that I know. And you need to schedule your time. So, we are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are people who always think they can get more done than they actually do. And then at the end of the day, you don't feel satisfied because you didn't finish your to-do list.
Exactly.
So if you schedule time, or you block your time, always create buffer time so that you can achieve all of these things and you feel satisfied at the end of the day. Because you've got to think of your own health, your mental health as well.
Yes.
And taking breaks. So this is something I was never good at as a doctor. I remember working 13 hours overnight and not having anything to eat because you're so busy running about answering
13 hours without food.
Pardon?
13 hours without food. I can't do that. Really?
It was unbelievable. Wow. It was crazy, but you literally couldn't stop because people were really sick, really unwell in the hospital, and it's chronically short-staffed. So anyway, when you are working, it's really important to take breaks, because productivity increases when we stop and we recharge. So this is a big part of the coaching that I do with ladies, because I work with professional women who really don't have time. So be sure to add regular breaks in the day. Get out for a walk, enjoy a tasty snack, not while sitting at your desk checking your emails, but literally leave your desk, turn your laptop off.
Yeah.
And, family needs to come first. There needs to be a time when you decide that the laptop gets closed. Yes. Otherwise, why are you doing it? So I'm really protective of my personal time.
Yes.
And make sure that I have time for family.
Yes, 100% on that. We're all doing this for the family. And if you don't give family the time, what's the point? You just go in the wrong cycle again. And you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Wow, thank you very much for sharing it. It's not just 3 tips. I've written it down. It's like 5, 6 really good points.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put it on the bullet point, when we send it out the podcast, which is really good. So I hope you listeners has caught that. And family time, block out your time, focus. I think Aileen's mentioned we have to focus and do one thing at a time, which is key to your success, Aileen. And Aileen, one thing that intrigues me, you are super busy, a doctor, you're an entrepreneur, time is shockingly limited, and you're health fanatic yourself. That's why your business is built on. How how can you do the finance, the health, and the time management at the same time? I can't find time to go out for a run because my excuse, I'm so busy. How do you find time to revolve the health around you and then build your business?
So health is the most important thing to me. So health needs to be holistic health. It isn't just physical health. It isn't just absence of disease. It's your mental health, your social well-being. It's the bigger picture. So the biggest thing for me is scheduling my time, and I always put my personal tasks in first. So time with the kids or time with my fiance, friends, all these other things.
Yeah.
That's the most important bit, and everything else has to come second to that.
Yes.
I always make sure I plan my meals in as well, so I have time to stop and have breaks.
Okay.
And then my other tasks fit around that. So, you know, I would say the gym for me, or, you know, not everybody enjoys the gym. Some people enjoy running, other people enjoy walking, cycling, whatever.
Yeah.
Do the thing that you enjoy and you're more likely to do it frequently. Personally, I love lifting heavy stuff because when I'm on the treadmill or whatever, my head just starts to ruminate and think about all the things I have to do.
Yeah.
You cannot do that when you've got 70 kilos on your back doing a squat.
Right.
You have to focus
70 kilos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really? That's a full being. That's a man.
It's a man on my back.
5'7" guy. Wow. I'm not gonna mess with.
So that's my non-negotiables. So, you know, like brushing my teeth in the morning, I would go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is non-negotiable for me. I usually get a 4th session in the week. And the other thing for me is walks. So walking helps me to recharge. It helps me to get back into that flow state. I don't know if you've heard of that term before, but that's when my creative ideas come to me. That's when I start solving my problems. And because your brain switches off, you're not focused on that laptop.
Like the meditation time, your time. Wow, that's multitasking, and yet you're getting that flow through. Wow, impressive. Thank you very much. I'm actually learning stuff from chatting to you today, Aileen.
Awesome. The other thing that I used to really enjoy was podcasts, and the reason was I had quite a long commute. And I used to think that sitting in the car was such wasteful time. You know, you were literally sitting there in traffic waiting to get to work, an hour there and an hour home. So what I started doing is listening to audiobooks and podcasts, you know, about business, about health, about, you know, psychology, all of these things. So to grow my brain, it's double leverage. So you're traveling while you're learning.
Yeah. Great. You mentioned the word business. So I'm going to come on to the next question. People in the business finance world, my wife, she's MBA, so she does business, and she's always laughing at engineers and doctors and scientists saying, you guys don't know about money and business. Obviously, you're a doctor. So how do you're starting your own business? You know, you need to pay employees, you need to pay yourself, you need to make sure your cost is done. So how did you manage to overlap and do well in that aspect? Doctor, entrepreneur, then business. It's not an easy combination, but you've done it. Can you share that, please?
It's so complicated, isn't it? So initially, like, it took me a long time, and it's only been in the last couple of months, I would say, that I've become comfortable with that term entrepreneur or businesswoman. You know, people would call me a businesswoman. Or are you going to work more in your business when you finish your GP training? And that would make me squirm, because as a doctor, you're a selfless person. You are not driven by financial remuneration. You do extras. You stay late. You're contributing to the greater good of society. Now, doctors are well paid, but they're not paid for the work that they do. They're not paid really for the decisions that they make, the pressure that they take, the stuff that they take home. That is called transference. You know, all the patient's problems literally cling to you and you take them home with you. So I was really uncomfortable at the start, asking for money in the early days. You know, you have to pay me this in order for me to give you that. But over time, I understand that money is an exchange of value, and my ladies receive the equivalent of winning the lottery. So they say to me, you know, it's the best thing I've ever done, or the best money I've ever spent, or I wish I'd found you sooner. Wow. So once I got into that mindset, I started to accept it, and I knew that moving forward, there was no other way around it. I needed that time to come to terms with it. But in terms of finances and all these things, I have a great accountant. She's very supportive.
Good.
But also, you know, TDL has just grown from strength to strength. Our overheads are really quite low, which is really helpful. But as things start to grow, we've never done any paid marketing, never done any paid advertising. But yet we've doubled twice in the last 60 days, which is crazy.
Wow, really? So just word of mouth, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, word of mouth, and I post on Instagram not daily, but maybe a couple of times a week.
Yeah. Yes, I follow your Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's good. And you've not even ventured into digital marketing, into Facebook ads or Instagram, and you already get
Yeah.
so much. Wow. And the part that you mentioned is loads of people that do hobbies or side hustle along the business.
Mhm.
They find it that they want to control everything, and because of cost factor and everything. But then, when did you decide that you needed to employ somebody to offload certain tasks so that you can focus on the more important task? Where was
Yeah.
that tipping point when you thought it's about time I need to hire somebody? Can you share that with
Yeah.
us?
That's really, really tough because when you start your own thing, it's like your baby. You want to protect it, you want to look after it,
Exactly.
you want everything done your way, and
Yes.
you probably grasp quite a control freak. And I'm quite OCD.
No,
Um,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
so Vanessa is the PT who works with me. So I actually met her when she did my ironing. Yes, I don't
Really?
iron. I get Martin's shirts ironed for him. That's my
I
gift to
see.
him. But anyway, so Vanessa, she had hurt her shoulder
Okay.
and she couldn't continue on the ironing. So I was gutted because I would need to learn to iron shirts. But more so, she was out of work and she was looking for a small job on the side just to keep her going, keep her busy. Now her kids were getting older. And when I heard that she wasn't going to be doing ironing anymore, I thought, oh my goodness, I need to find a position for her because she's just phenomenal. She's so charismatic, she's so caring, she fits the TDL structure perfectly. And so I messaged her back and I said to her, well, what did you do before you did the ironing? So she'd worked in admin and finance, and I was like, perfect. But I also knew Vanessa she was really into her gym and her training, and she came very, very close to doing a bodybuilding competition years ago, but
Really?
got injured, so she had to stop training and couldn't compete. And she'd always been keen to train as a personal trainer, but never had that self-belief. Nobody pushed her to say, go on and do it. So what I said to her was, you come on and do my admin, and I think you should do your personal training qualification. There'll be a job for you at the end of it with TDL. And now
Wow.
she does, she trains all my clients. She does all my admin support and manages the Facebook group, all the community support. But because things are growing, she's going to be stepping away soon from the admin role and just doing the PT side of things.
Yeah.
I was really lucky because I found Vanessa just at the perfect time.
Wow.
Yes, it's really, really difficult to give parts of what you're doing away. And you have to let that person manage their job and get to the end point. They might use a different system or method, but provided they get to the same end point you were looking
Yes.
for,
Yes.
then
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah. Wow. I think I need to disagree with you. One thing is luck. I don't think it's luck. I think it's a law of attraction. I think it's just your personality. You were driven to your goal and you just attracted somebody close to you and then you found that person. I think it's a law of attraction. I think you were both fated to meet to
Amazing.
create
Well,
this
that's so
TDL.
kind. So
Yeah.
Vanessa is actually coming this afternoon. She's coming for a mentoring session. So we do a half-day mentoring of every month just to support her with her CPD and her continued development. So she is going to be doing a nutrition course next to upskill her to do more of the work that I do, which would be great. But at the moment, we are looking for more coaches at TDL, but it's really tough to find somebody with a skill set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, and you're giving all that support. That's very good. You're also coaching now. You've got your secret leadership skills that you don't realize you had. Your management skills and your talent spotting, and now you're coaching. That's very good. That's very good. Very natural. That's why I can see that people are coming to say, Aileen, this is you. This is your specialty. Well done. Well done. So you spoke about your business TDL. Do you want to tell the viewers a bit more? I'm sure that people want to know how different you are from other health coaches or other online, because there's a spur of online health coaches online. They just send you pay them £500 and they send you meal different. But what's different about you that you can share with our listeners?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So everybody who has internet access and an opinion is ready to share it with the world right now. So got to be careful, got to question the evidence, the credentials, the real science. And I'm not saying that, gently. This is true. It's scary. It's an unprotected or a poorly regulated industry. So at TDL, I help busy professional women to take control of their health
Okay.
by weight loss and energy optimization. So it
Wow.
started a little bit of fun 3 years ago. And over the last 6 months since I've qualified as a GP, as I was saying earlier, it's grown substantially. So we know that weight loss is 80% nutrition. You cannot outtrain a bad diet.
I'm writing this
And
down for myself. 80% nutrition.
and we all intuitively
Yeah.
know what to eat more of and what to eat less of, but it is so hard to stick to it because of social norms, because of how society is set up, because of our friendship group, because of our home life. So this is where lifestyle management and psychology are very, very important. So you're probably wondering how I've arrived at this skill set as a qualified GP. So I did a BTN certified nutrition coaching qualification 3 years ago, and I got involved more in the food side of things. But what I soon learned was it wasn't that ladies didn't, or it wasn't that they didn't know what to eat more of and less of, and it wasn't the plan that they needed, because you can do them a nutrition plan, but sticking to it is hard. So I started looking more into, well, what's the common denominator? Why do people go off plan? Why can't they stick to the plan? And it seemed to be weekends or evenings, particularly Friday evening, particularly if they were stressed, if they were busy, if they hadn't scheduled their time.
Yes.
So I started looking more at the psychology, and I did a diploma in something called lifestyle medicine last year. And lifestyle medicine is all about sleep, it's about stress, nutrition and exercise, and how you can use these skills to optimize or improve health or to manage illness, rather than the conventional medical model. So I teach my ladies how to modify their behaviors. I teach them about habit setting, and I teach them the real science behind the body. And we banish diet-related myths. So my vision for each and every one of the ladies that I coach is by the time they finish coaching, they become totally independent. I literally teach them everything that I know so they can be successful for the rest of their lives.
Wow, it's not a short couple of weeks program. You're actually you're planting a seed in their head to say, this is what you need to do to educate them. And wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And many of us think that we need to eat really, really low calories to lose weight. So that's not true either. Most people who are dieting are eating too little. And I would say, I haven't done an audit on this, but 80-90% of the ladies that I coach, I increased their calories from when they were dieting previously. So one of my ladies, Gail, doesn't mind me sharing her story. She's a 40-year-old mum of two. Her husband works away. She's a very demanding job. She's a project manager. She has 2 children, as I said before. So she's juggling a lot. She was eating 350 calories more every single day than when she dieted with previous plans.
Oh, really?
And she lost 10 kilos in 6 months, and 14 months down the line, she's kept it off.
Really? Wait. So 300 calories more, and you just cut it down for 10 months and keep it more disciplined, and that's how much you can lose. Really? Wow.
So what happens when you diet on too low calories is you end up hungry, you end up binging, you end up craving, you feel miserable. But if you're eating a little bit more calories in a smaller deficit, so 10-20% deficit, then over a period of time the weight drips off, but you're still eating chocolate, you still enjoy your glass of wine. Balanced approach.
Wow. Okay. That's really good. And one thing that I always wanted to ask, because I follow your Instagram and Facebook, is you like Nutella.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've got friends who's very healthy as well, and my mate Mo, he's always posting about avocado, and yours is always Nutella and things that you eat. I said, something is not right here. So can you share with us?
Yeah.
So can you share with us about your different concept, your different views?
Absolutely. So I believe that it should be 80 or 90% whole foods in your diet. So whole foods are naturally occurring foods, stuff that comes out of the ground, off a tree, from a farm, not our processed foods. Whole foods are unpackaged foods, first couple of aisles in the supermarket. So your veggies, your rice, your meat, nuts, stuff like that. Processed foods would be like chocolate bars or Nutella or whatever else, and it does have a role in the diet. So there's no such thing as bad food. We don't always eat to fuel our bodies. Sometimes we eat for here, and sometimes we eat for here. It's about the psychological well-being. As soon as you eliminate a food from your diet, you want it more. It makes it more difficult to partake in birthday parties, meals out, celebrations, because we eat food socially as well. So it's about still enjoying your favourite food so you don't eliminate craving and then binge.
Yes.
Now, yes, an avocado is very, very healthy food,
Yeah.
but an avocado and a tube of Smarties is the same amount of calories. So when it comes to
Oh,
weight loss,
yeah.
calories are king. It doesn't mean that Smarties are more healthy or as healthy as an avocado, but we need to eat less
Oh.
calories than we need in order to lose weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You kept it really clear. So how do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I've spoken to my lots of interviewees. I don't like 10, 15 years. I like the 5 years because it's the results we're gonna see pretty soon. How do you see yourself in 5 years, Eileen, your business, where you will be?
So, that's a big question. I hope in 5 years' time, well, no, I'm not going to say hope. I know in 5 years' time that TDL will be throughout the UK because the way TDL is set up is everything's delivered remotely. It's all delivered through an app on your phone. I'm literally in my client's pocket. I record them
Oh,
videos.
good.
We can do Zoom conferences or Skype conferences. So they don't need to be here in Aberdeen for me to coach them, which means
Okay.
as soon as we begin digital marketing, it's going to spread throughout the UK very, very quickly.
Yes.
I hope to have a multidisciplinary team, so
Yeah.
lots of different skill sets involved in TDL. At the moment, we've got a behavioural scientist and a psychological therapist, which helps with the health psychology side of things. But I hope to have a team involved with me to reach more women throughout the UK and help more people understand the real science behind dieting. None of this Instagram science or Facebook science
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Mumsnet science, but really to teach people how and why. And I also hope that the NHS will adopt some of the TDL principles. I'm
Yes.
not quite sure how that will work, but with chronic disease management, so type 2 diabetics, for example,
Yeah.
just to support the staff within the NHS with better understanding it, and also healthcare practitioners or healthcare professionals with
Yeah.
better managing their own health instead of always prioritizing the patient.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Wow, you've just visualized to me, I can see it so clearly. You really got this nailed. You're gonna be just pushing it through. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I'm excited for you as well. I can see this TDL all over UK. And then, oh, okay, okay, that's very good. I'm looking forward to follow your journey, and hopefully the listeners will follow Eileen's journey as well. She's not gonna stop here. I think she's still got a long way to climb, and she will get there eventually. You've got to really plan out really well. Thank you very much for sharing. So, Eileen, I think I've taken a lot of your time, and thank you very much to be on the show. And I hope that to get you back again in future. And I know that you're starting your own podcast soon, so I hope to listen to your podcast as well. And
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
listeners, so if you got the name TDL podcast in future, I'm sure she'll announce it. If you guys go on the website and sign up, I'm sure she'll announce. Follow Eileen on Instagram. I will share it down below on the link as well, how you can follow TDL's Instagram and Facebook as well. And before we go, have you got any famous last words for our listeners? Mom and dads out there, sisters and brothers?
I just want to say, just remember to step back and look at your day. And the first thing you want to do is schedule time for you and your family, because that's why you're on this earth. That's why you're hustling. It's why you're doing all the things that you're doing in order to live your best life.
Thank you very much, Aline. Thank you for very, very kind words. Okay, hope you guys all enjoyed this podcast, and I enjoyed it myself, and I think we all need to thank Eileen for her time on the show, and all the best in future. And thank you very much, Eileen. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks.
Okay, take care.